And I want you to grab a sheet of paper or start a brand new blank sheet. Brand new blank sheet. We have plenty of room to draw and we'll write. Now what we're going to do, we're going to go through an exercise right now. We're actually going to imagine your dream life. The life that you go to bed thinking about, the life that you've been talking about with your spouse for so long, or sharing with your kids, and we're going to model that. And if you're an artistic, or you just do stick figures, go visual with it. But we're going to go through that right now. I want you guys to be as detailed as this matters. Okay, so we're going to go through this. Desert. What kind of house would be a country farmhouse with a big wraparound porch? What would it be like waking up in that house? What would your bedroom look like? What kind of floors would it have? Would they be mahogany? Would they be travertine? What would the view be like when you wake up in the morning? What would be the first things that you would do as you wake up? Would you walk out on a patio and do your yoga overlooking the lake, the beach? Would you be walking down and going to breakfast in the morning and greeting your loved ones with a smile? Would you have a private chef preparing for you the most gourmet breakfast? Eggs, and fruit, and bacon. Fried shake. And after breakfast, would you be sauntering down to your home gym, or maybe you have a personal trainer that comes and trains you? Getting your workout in, and what would your body feel like? What would it feel like, and what would be your weight, and your energy, and your confidence? After you're done, maybe working out and deciding to get ready for the day, and you go into your master bedroom, your bathroom. What would your bathroom look like? Would you have one of those big walk-in snail showers with 16 shower heads? You get water at you from every direction, or a steam shower? And after you get ready and you're going into your closet, what type of thread would you see? What type of clothes would you be wearing? Would it be the newest designer labels? Would it be? Would you have that favorite Reebok that you love and that you see? Would you have a piece of jewelry as an investment as well as presents from your spouse and for each other? And after you're ready and you're putting on your work gear, would you go into your home office? What would the home office smell like? Would it smell like rich woods? Would it be paneled? Would there be a fireplace in there? Enough seating to have all your family come around and read together and study? And as you get ready for work and realize that you have an engagement, you go out to the garage and you flick on the lights and open up the garage doors. What cars did you see? What color? What keys would you immediately be grabbing to go and to drive to that event you must attend? As you're in that convertible and the sun and the warmth is hitting the back of your neck and your face as you're driving through your favorite road, is it hilly? Does it have a view? Are there mountains in the distance? What would it feel like to be debt-free? As you get to your engagement, is it a social soiree? Is it hosting one of the coolest dinner party it's ever? Maybe it's a charity with your name on it. Something that you're passionate about. Like a diabetes research or cancer or humane society. Or a church. Maybe it's a big unveiling of a new project that you helped fund. Don't spare any details. How much would you be giving back? Who would you be helping? And at what amount? See, it's not just enough to say you want to help people. What does it mean? Write it down. Maybe donating time every week, donating money, supporting missions, going on shopping sprees with your friends. What is your dream life? What type of pets would you have? Would you have horses, dogs, rare cats? Would your office be plagued with 30,000-gallon aquariums with the most rare, unique fish? And spending each day, who would you be spending it by? That loved one, that person that just completes you as you finish your dinner over candlelight, a succulent, amazing dinner. How would you feel about your relationship? How would your life be different? Would you feel accomplished? Would you feel like you had purpose? How many of you guys are excited to live that life? You guys feel the vibration in the room completely change? The energy of the room? And the people that take this very seriously will get the most out of it. People that take this exercise and take it home and touch on this and reread this every once in a while, you have to read more, some it might be slowly to some, but visualizing is so powerful. Josh and I always talk about where we're going, what we're going to live, what we'll teach of the world we're going to vacation at or have a house at, or, how we're going to spend our days. And, we're talking about, like, many, many years from now, how, we'll get up and he'll go scuba diving and, I'll be checking emails and working because I don't like to scuba. And, and then we'll come back and, we'll be in some beautiful tropical place. We have it all vision. We would cut out pictures and see pictures online of the exact showers we want that are open up to the sea. They're closed, but you can see the sea, nobody can see you, but it's all the ocean, like an open shower, and the tubs and the mahogany, ceilings. We're very visual on this, and dream this. See, unfortunately, and part of this is like a GST, even going back to the Millionaire mindset, we've been broken down on dreaming. We've been busted down and smoldered, and I'm just saying, stop dreaming. Kids are great dreamers. My girl drew castle. It's awesome. They're big dreamers. My question to you is, how committed are you to it? How committed are you to it? How committed? We went through the laws of success, went through the things that you'll face, the person that you must become. The biggest thing I want you guys is I don't want you to go to the end of your life, however long it may be, and hopefully it's a very long time for all of us. My biggest fear is to look back at life and have regret. To be like, I could have done more. I could have lived more. I could have stressed less. I could have gave back more. I could have made a difference. We're going to be one life, like, why not make a difference when we're here? Why not experience all that God has for us? Dream again. How many of you guys are excited to dream again? Is that helpful for anybody?
Yes.
Alright, now we're going to move in to the dirty. Move into the GST. So move on from your beautiful dream life. Now we're going to talk about how to get it. Cool? Alright, step 1, we got to start our list. And this talks about how you have to start this with 25 local people that like and respect you the most. And the biggest thing that I can tell you is that you want to expand this as quickly as possible and go to memorygogger.by.com. By show of hands, how many people have printed out Memory Jogger? Let's get some more. Memory Jogger. I rewrite my list about every month or so. Josh will attest to that. I'm always rewriting my list, remembering people. Be like, oh yeah, what about that person? Or add into it constantly. And what happened was 6 months into business, I was going through the Memory Jogger. And number 97, you guys know what number 97 is of the top 100? Number 97 is this: who do you know that exercises a lot? And this is November 2011, and I was like, who's exercised a lot that I know? Like, well, the hottest thing in Houston at that time was Zumba. You guys ever Zumba? Right? And like, this is the hottest thing. I'm like, who do I know this? I knew somebody once that did Zumba. Like, I remember Zumba. Emory, Zumba Emory. There was a guy that I had met 4 years prior, and we had 1 hour-long conversation. One conversation via the phone. But I remember that he talked, it was like this, he had like this little picture of him jumping, he was very flamboyant on Zumba with Emory. I remember that. Checked my phone, didn't have his phone number. Went back to my old Gmail account and I found an email from him. And I decided to remember his name. And I was like, okay, Emory Oldacre. I put it into Facebook. Boom, came up with the same picture. I was like, that's awesome. Sent him a friend request. And I said, hey, Emory, we need to talk. I just started doing this writing challenge. You gotta see this. We gotta talk. We got on the phone the next day. We watched the overview. Got through a call. He didn't have the money. When I'm saying he didn't have money, he didn't really have the money. But, he didn't have anything checking out, no credit cards, losing everything, sort of kind of thing. What he did was, he was not teaching Zumba anymore. He was actually boarding school for nursing, and he was CNA or LPN or one of the two. And so he was working non-stop, he wasn't doing Zumba anymore, he gained a ton of weight, and he's like, I need to do this. I actually sent him a bag of shake. I'm like, you gotta get started. So he started a Zumba class on a Thursday night, just to get enrollment money to come up with the $4.99. Talk about somebody who's committed. He's like, I'll start Zumba again just to get money. He did his first challenge party that night with them. In 35 days, over Thanksgiving and Christmas, he started November 25th, went regional director, over Christmas. The next month, national, the next one's presidential. Now he's an ambassador in our country for 6 months, and he's typically growing his team by 30 to 40% every month. He was number 97 on my Memory Jogger. Who do you need to find in your list? Who you had a conversation with 4 years ago that probably doesn't really remember you. Your list is your business plan. The bigger, the better. If I were to pay you $20 for every name that you gave me, how many names would you give me? What about if I paid you 50? Give me more. What about 100? What about 200? Big low shot number 3. I did a math in the back of the room at a regional. And based on everyone that I had put through the video, my list is worth $200 per name. And I've done this over and over and over and over again, and that is consistently several $100. But if I were to pay even $20, how many would you have on it? The biggest thing is that you don't want to prejudge anyone. See, people prejudge their list. And this is how they go. They prejudge it via two very distinct things. Those people that you have, you're just like, you don't want to really write them down. You're like, you just kind of go to yourself and you're just like, skimming, you just keep scrolling through. There's usually two reasons why people prejudge, but there's a whole lot of reasons. And the biggest thing is that they don't have money, or maybe they're too successful, they don't have time. Like, well, they'll never see this, they're way too successful, they think this is dumb. They're like their CEO. You know, those are the people that usually see it the most, are the successful people. It's true. That's why they got successful. They see the opportunity. The people who don't have the money, obviously they need this. Here's the thing I want you to write down right now, is that do not be attached to the result. Don't be attached to the result of anybody on your list and getting them through the plan. I don't care. And I tell people that. I don't care what you think of this. I don't care if you get started. I don't care if you become a customer. I don't care if you become a promoter. I don't care. All I care about is that you take a look. All I care about is that you know this, and that if you're ready, that you can start with me. All I care is that when you think of weight loss, and if anybody comes to you and says, I need to lose weight, you think of me. That's all I care about. I don't care if you can start. Just take a look. I don't want you to be mad at me a year from now when I'm making $1 million a year. I said that. When I'm a millionaire in this plan, I don't want you to be mad at me and say, why didn't you ever tell me? So there are big reasons why you have prejudging and not enough time for money. A lot of people would have prejudged my mom. My mom, her name was Patty, and she's 56 years old, 57 years old at the time, and she had just gone through bankruptcy and was in foreclosure. How many of you guys know people who have been in bankruptcy and foreclosure? Y'all know people. And you know people that are telling you. It's rampant, right? So she lost everything in her mid-50s, devastating. Everything they had worked so hard for. And she did not have the money. It was so bad that they were living off of eggs and toast. That's how you get fat. That's how you get 53 pounds overweight. So she's living off of, she'd buy a loaf of French bread from the grocery and she'd cut it up throughout the day, and that's what she was living off of. That's how broke my mom was, my parents were at the time. So I told them about my Dallas. A lot of people have said, no, they don't have the money. In fact, my mom was so poor, she didn't keep money in her bank account because of wage garnishments and being afraid of collections. That's broke. That's a bad situation, isn't it? But I said, I'm like, you got to take a look. And she said no several times. You know how she came up with the money? She was using the envelope system. She didn't put money in her bank account. So she took envelopes, the money out of envelopes to pay her utility bills and her cell phone bill, her phone bill and her utilities. And she put that in the bank account. Immediately got started that day in fear of, it was going to get ripped up by wage garnishments. And what was amazing that she didn't tell my dad about it, her husband. But in 6 days, we got a rising star. She made $650. In 2 weeks, she got a BMW. In 45 days, she went presidential director, made $4,500, and in 4 months, she became an ambassador. She's now a 2-star ambassador with 10 ambassadors on her team, and last year made $200,000. But she didn't have the money. Or you would have thought she didn't have the money. She told me that for weeks. I don't have the money. You don't have the money. Don't prejudge anybody. Time. It's going to say I don't have the time. Well, let me tell you about my friend Dee. My friend Dee is the epitome of no time. She's a grandmother of 4, grandmother of 5, mother of 4. She owns 3 businesses, because 1 or 2 is not enough for this driven type A. Peckering, Pet Motel, and she taught yoga 5 days a week, just because. So she was working 70 hours a week, literally knee-deep in, really, seriously, she had like 20 dogs in her house. And she needed the plan, she needed to lose weight, but she was so busy. She said, Rachel, what rest of the day do you want me to promote my salads? I said, just give me an hour. Just give me an hour when you can. And she followed the system, got people to the video, got on a three-way call. She'd be getting me on a three-way call with one of her prospects, or, Tara, one of her prospects. And it was hilarious because is I can hear her grooming in the background. Like, I'm like, Dee, mute out. Like, I can hear the poodle in the background. Like, really. She didn't have time. But in 30 days, on an hour a day, she went regional director. In 8 months, she became an ambassador. She's now making $15,000 a month as a 2-star ambassador. She's also helped her mom and her 2 sisters both go ambassadors in this plan, each making 6 figures in this plan. One was also a girl, was her, who didn't have money or time. She had 3 jobs. Aaliyah Brock in Albuquerque. And then Shay and Shanna, the mom and daughter in Tucson, that was a retired FBI agent who thought all things were scams. And a daughter was a broke, struggling actress in Tucson making $8,000 a year. $8,000 a year. Do not prejudge anybody. Whom you been prejudging? Write down their name right now. Now. And by now I mean now. By writing down I mean really. Remember that. Here it is. Give a copy of your upline. I'm not going to call them for you. But here's the thing. When I'm running a report company and I have their list, I can be accountable. I can be like, hey, what's going on with Susie? You showed her the video a couple days ago. Where's she at? Share your party. Hey, I know that Bob, Sam, and Julie all went to your party, but they haven't, are they, it's customers I haven't seen yet. Follow up with them. So it's accountability. Recruit up. My sponsor was my employee. And from the outside, I looked incredibly successful. I had an internet marketing company, so I never made a lot of money in MLM, but I had a decent job or business with internet marketing. And on the outside, I looked really uber successful. Recruit up. Talk to people who make more money, know more people, and have higher influence than you. See, the problem is when you recruit the waitress, she recruits the busboy who recruits the dishwasher 10 more years ago. Now, I'm not saying don't sign up for waitress, will be a Brock as a waitress. But you want to look for people that have influence. If at the very least, they may not be your leader, but they could be a doorway to somebody else. They may not be the person that builds because they're a PTA president, they own multiple companies, they serve, they're an elder in the church, there's so much going on, but they may be a connector. Influencers tend to be connectors, not leaders. The ones that are rare that are an influencer and a builder, those are like 7-figure. So that's very rare. But at least talk and get influence. Influence is speed. That's how you get people like Tina Hopkins, who was, regional director in 6 days. Even for me, regional director in 10 days, any of that speed, that's where you're going to get it. Add to your list daily. Add to your list every day. Meeting people. Do you guys know this is called network marketing? It's all about building your network and marketing to them. So add to your list every day. Where do you add people? Everywhere. Who do you talk to? Everywhere. What do you say? Anywhere. Add to your list every day. Even when we go into the NST, the RST, when we're traveling, we're talking to everyone. The bellhop, the bartender, usually the person who's there, like, hey, you're going to get slammed by Sally and Sarah, and it's like, I talked to you first, The cab driver. I was at Southwest Airlines, and you get to choose your seat, right? And so I'm sitting in the exit row, I have my little tray down, we're waiting, everyone's boarding, and I had my vibe here, my little bottle. One of the little rhinestones, and a lady sat next to her husband. I'm in the window seat. She said, "That is such a cute bottle. What's buy by me?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's a 90-day challenge of that." And I was very just, casual about it because we had 2 hours together, so I didn't want to be like, "Bleh." And so we're talking. She keeps asking me about it. We keep talking more and more. All of a sudden, she pulls out her newspaper again. She's like, "Okay, we're done talking." She's like, "Reading, I'm reading." She pulls out the newspaper, saying USA Today. And on the back, she's like, "Isn't this your company?" And it was a big Visalis thing on about Visalis' growth last year. And I'm like, "Why is it?" Then changed information, and she calls me. We're on our way home from Hobby in Houston. And she's like, "Rachel, hey, this is Darlene. We just got on the plane. You will not believe what I just saw." And I'm like, "What?" She goes, "I was walking through baggage claim, and I'm walking to get our luggage, and all of a sudden I see a business card on the floor, and I look down, and it's somebody's Body by Buy business card." She's like, "I think it's a sign." I'm like, yes, ma'am, it is. So sign it down. So she wanted some samples. She was in Sugarland, had somebody, drop off some samples to her because I was away from the Woodlands, and she ended up ordering like $300 worth of product, being a customer for a long time. Now I don't know where it's going to go from here, but I stay in touch with her, and at the end of the day, you just meet people everywhere. Who do you talk to? Everywhere. What do you say to them? Anywhere. Referrals. Who do you know? Repeat after me. Who do you know?
Who do you know?
Who do you know? Who do you know? Who do you know who? Who do you know who? Who do you know who cuts hair? Who do you know who works out a lot? Who do you know that needs to work out a lot? Who do you know that, owns a gym? Who do you know that is a personal trainer? Who do you know that, owns a fitness studio? Who do you know, and then I'll just get into the gym. Who do you know is a bodybuilder? Who do you know is a figure competitor? Who do you know that is a crossfitter? Who do you know that, I'm still only on exercising. Who do you know that's a servant-driven leader? Who do you know that's a pastor? Who do you know? Who do you know that needs to lose weight? My favorite line on every call, especially the prospects. Who do you know that needs to lose at least 5 pounds?
Everybody.
Everybody. They always say that. And then now I'm thinking like, crap, everybody can use this. No one does. That's a money phrase right there. Who do you know that needs to lose at least 5 to 10 pounds? Well, me, myself, everybody. Yes. How do they like to save money doing so? Lifestyle, be open. When we're out, we're like traveling and meeting people that are scuba diving, and one of my girlfriends right now is traveling. She's a Vital's one-star ambassador. She has a stagecoach sort of with a big bus traveling all across the country building her business, and she's meeting people that do campers and whatever. That is not a cheap pastime, right? If you're involved in any hobbies, talk to people, meet them. Maybe it's at your horse club, your agricultural club. Maybe it's people at, if you don't have any hobbies, get some. Right? To meet new people. Meetup.com. Go join some meetup groups. Maybe join a Bible study. Maybe join a underwater basket meet. I don't know. Find something that floats your boat. Would you be open? Social networks, of course, Facebook. Always add. Who makes the list? Obviously, your warm market. So the first person that makes your list is your warm market. I would look for business owners. Business owners are naturally more inclined to risk. The 3% of the population is business owners, 97% is not. 3% they're more inclined to risk. It's all on them. So they know commission. They understand that. Look for business owners. Obviously, your friends or your family. You want to build this with your friends and family. For the most part. That's always going to do this, yeah. And Glenda's not coming in no matter what, right? But friends and family for sure. It would be horrific if you built this business. I'm telling you right now, like cousins. Friends, I actually use the friend example. In our past company, my husband had an insurance agency while I was building our network marketing company. And his insurance agency had a whole network of people that he knew, and one of them was his most best referral sources, and a really great colleague was a CPA named Barb. And Barb was a mentor of the product on a real basis, actually a greeting card company. So she knew what we did, but we never actually talked to her about it. Like, we didn't sit down and be like, Barb, we gotta have a conversation, you gotta take a look at this. It was never like that. It was very passive. Like, she probably saw us on Facebook or MySpace or whatever it was back then. She knew that we did. She got cars from us. She got the product. She knew that we were distributors for that company. So what happens, fast forward a year later, we're at our national convention, and they're recognizing the brand new executives of the company, which is like an ambassador. Not compensation, but a different one. Guess who's crossing the stage as a brand new ambassador executive in that thing? She had signed up with some guy who was one of the top kind of guys in the company that she met at a Christmas party. They had a conversation, she signed up. Hard. Crazy. Friends of them, coworkers, associations, church, temple, whatever. School, sports, clubs. Who went to high school with? Almost nearly every single one of my close high school friends at least bought product for me. And there's something no. They want me to leave. That's what they do in Wisconsin. It's true. Sports. What do I say? I just found out about a 90-day challenge. My goal is to, you have to hear about this. Shocking, right? If you guys have a problem with what to say, just read it off the page. Seriously, some of you guys you sound so silly on the phone. I've heard you. I've heard you on the phone. And you're like, Barb, I'm really excited about this thing with this challenge or this Project 10, and I used by and you're all over the place. Just read. Hey Barb, I just found out about a 90-day health challenge that I'm doing to lose 10 pounds. You have to hear about this. The text over video right now. One of the biggest things I did is referring to a tool. I really like the overview, and I love the 5-minute video on our website. I use the overview for a lot of warm market. I use 5-minute video for cold, meaning like, I don't expect a perfect stranger or just friend in Starbucks to watch a 25-minute video, right? But my best friend will, because I told her to. You are. So here's the thing I used to do, was I used to say, hey, how many of you guys use the Violent as your first tool? Okay, none of you, mostly it's all websites. Okay. I used to say, hey, what are you in front of your computer next? How many of you guys are doing this? Like, what can you, are you next to a computer? What are you doing? How do you get into the video? You just, like, set a time for them, like, oh, what time? I used to always do this. Then I realized, like, everybody has smartphones. How many of you guys have a smartphone? You watch the website videos and the overview from the phone. So now I just say, hey, I'm texting you the information right now. Watch it. Sometimes they're like, maybe that's when we'll watch it. Because it's a YouTube video. They go watch the video right in the bathroom or to get on their lunch break or whatever before they drive home. I'll have to wait for them to schedule time and figure out some sort of time in their busy schedule to get around so that way I'm not chasing them. This is a gold nugget to tell them, hey, I'll text it to you right now. Direct approach. You can be very direct with people. Say, listen, I just found out a way to supplement my income. I found out a way to earn a free BMW. I just found out about a way that I can, pay off my kids' college debt. I just found out a way that I can quit my part-time job. Would you want to hear about it? Would you like to take a look? Would be open? Asking it. Always give a compliment first. Like, hey, now I wanted to give you a call because I know that you've had much success in your career. What was your career before myself? Woodwork. You were a woodworker? What? You were a woodworker? Like Jesus?
Like Jesus.
Like Jesus. So I know that you've been very, very skilled in owning your own business and like to work with beautiful things and have had major success as being a perfectionist in your craft. I just found out a way that I can do that on the health and fitness side to be open to co-op. Just have a direct approach to them. Don't be afraid to tell people what you got. Again, this is a belief thing. You know what I told people in my first 60 days of my big run to Ambassador? When I signed up 35 people in 35 days. 35 promoters in 35 days. I signed up. And what I did was I literally called, and I know I followed I just found out, I know I did because I was reading the thing, but I would say stuff like, I'm going to create crazy momentum over the next 60 days. You got to take a look. Like, you have to look. I'm looking for my top level leaders. I'm looking for the people that are going to be at the top of my list. I'm looking for the people that are going to be partnering with in order to create crazy momentum. Does that sound like I have conviction or not? And they're like, I have no idea what you're talking about, but I at least have to take a look. You have to see what I'm doing. You got to see this. Not, do you think maybe you have time to no, you got to see this. You got to see this. Say you got to see this.
You got to see
You got to see this. Indirect. Hey, I just wanted to start your business. It may not be for you, but I take a look. Sometimes I do this with trouble people. Hey, I just started this, I have this weight loss business. It may not be for you, but if you know anybody, that'd be really, really great. Well, then they're like, well, me. I'm like, who? You? No. Right? We're like, how do you start people that need it? I was like, I just do it in your approach. Like, hey, I just started the 70-day challenge. I'm doing it, I'm promoting it, I'm starting this it's pretty much like a weight loss franchise. And I would love, gosh, and it may not be for you, but if you know anybody, oh no, it's for me, I get it. What is this weight loss thing? Like, you tell me. Give me now. What is this shake? But that's ambitious. There's the phrase again. Who do you know that's ambitious, money motivated? But you know, the second earns some additional